You always put yourself first, Lauren said, pointing at me, her voice like a knife. That's because you always want to control everything. I shot back without hesitation, my eyes only on facts and defiance. Esme, you always put yourself first. Don't say that. You play soccer, practice the violin, and take up too much of Chris's time and money. Mike and April deserve fair chances too. Fair? Fair isn't an excuse to take away someone's passion. Passion can't be used as a shield, Esme. We're a family, decisions must consider the whole. I'm part of this family, not some sacrifice to be made. You're always on her side. She's my daughter. Rights? You think rights can pay the bills? We're not revolving around her. Stop. I never asked the house to revolve around me. I just want to live. Live? You make my kids feel like second-class citizens. You always mistake control for love. You're always on her side. Lauren pointed at Dad. Chris, do you think this is right? You deal with 2 kids, housework, and your job every day. Do you think fixing the roof once an afternoon is enough? She's my daughter, Dad said, walking over, stubborn. She has the right to live her life. Rights? You think rights can pay the bills? We're not revolving around her. Lauren's lip twitched, as if she wanted to say something harsher. Stop. I threw my backpack onto the couch, my footsteps crisp across the floorboards. I never asked for the house to revolve around me. I just want to live. Live? You make my kids feel like second-class citizens. Mike peeked around the corner. April clutched her doll wide-eyed. The next day, Lauren forgot to tell me rehearsal time. Under the car lights, the parking lot was empty, my car keys nowhere in sight. I called Dad. He rushed over, jaw tight, voice a mix of frustration and helplessness. How could she forget? Maybe she really did, I said, my voice calm though my chest ached. At home, I found Lauren's family schedule. The note read, Thursday, take kids swimming, Esme practice. Moonlight fell on the writing, mocking it. Days piled up like needles. She forgot messages, questioned expenses, created scheduling conflicts to make me look out of sync. Dad tried to mediate, but she countered in her for the family tone. I'm thinking of the whole family, you don't understand. I wasn't unbroken. When Mom left when I was 10, Dad's hollow eyes said, It's just the 2 of us now. That sentence became a shield. I began to observe and calculate, not for bursts of anger, but to turn injustice into evidence and action. First plan. She scheduled a weekend trip conflicting with my competition. I preemptively informed my coach, neighbors, and Dad, so she saw the texts in the kitchen. Surprise, embarrassment, then frustration, but at dinner she still repeated, We need fairness. I watched details. Her expense notebook emphasized kids' classes not now, while her ex-husband's support painted a rosy future. I realized the conflict wasn't love or fairness, it was a power struggle. Who controls resources, who decides growth? I started working. Mrs. Harris needed evening babysitting twice a week. The income covered my violin lessons and team fees. Lauren pretended to approve at first, then tested me. Kids suddenly needed attention. For the family's sake. I knew she was seeing if I would abandon myself. I decided to let her strategy backfire. Step 1. Make all my schedules transparent. No, I didn't know excuses. Step 2. My work hours and pickup arrangements visible to Dad and neighbors. Step 3. In public, reveal her anxiety instead of letting her play the victim. Once, she scheduled Mike's amusement park trip during my recital. She feigned surprise. You said the recital helps your future. Can you watch the kids instead? I had already posted the recital info in the family group. Informed Dad and neighbors. The park had to reschedule due to staffing. At dinner, she found it canceled, her emotions collapsing. Do you know how disappointed the kids are? I handed Dad a glass of water, fingers trembling. She grew irritable, sharp. Once she forgot to pick me up. I waited 45 minutes in the parking lot. Dad came, she blamed me for too many arrangements. Dad stayed silent. She's my daughter. Her passion isn't yours to measure. That night, her tone finally carried helplessness and shame. A month later, she scheduled a family weekend via the neighborhood group, conflicting with my performance. I messaged, "Saturday, I have a competition, registered and paid. Please understand." I sent screenshots to Dad and her sister. At a social gathering, she tried again with fairness, but neighbors knew I babysit weekly and pay for training. The room froze. She retreated in embarrassment. Finally, I set up an accident. Dad overheard her complaining that I mess up the house. Later he talked to me. I understood that justice doesn't need an explosion. Facts alone can shift trust and perception. The climax was calm but devastating. One Saturday, she sent the kids to her sister's house, claiming a family rest day, leaving instructions behind. We exposed her unilateral scheduling and past behavior. She returned home to find family photos on the coffee table, each with fact notes. Her hands trembled. "What is this?" she whispered, voice shaking, fear audible. "Organizing facts," I said coldly, Dad behind me. "You're humiliating me," she snapped. "No humiliation, just showing the truth." I laid down the last sheet. Her eyes shifted from anger to despair. She finally collapsed, hugging her knees, tears streaking her face. "Are you all targeting me? I just want respect." Dad crouched. "Respect isn't built on sacrifice. It must be mutual." She whispered, almost pleading, "Can you not do this? I know I'm wrong, I just want peace." I sat across from her. Peace doesn't come from stealing futures. If you want acceptance, learn to share. Control doesn't buy safety. She grabbed my hand. The icy tip slowly released, like letting go of something. Months later, she mended things, stopped mentioning fairness, took initiative with chores, complimented my practice and competitions. April snuck me a cookie. "Sis, your violin sounds amazing." I hugged her. She curled up in my arms. Life slowly balanced, but my pursuits were no longer considered a luxury. They were recognized. Dad said, "You did well. You didn't split the family. You just made it real." Sunset fell. The light no longer harsh. Lauren passed the window, no longer shiny and sharp, carrying fragility and remorse. That night at dinner, she whispered, "Sorry." Small voice yet sincere. True revenge wasn't hurting her. It was exposing lies and injustice to the light, letting truth wield power. She was consumed by fear and control, trembling and begging for forgiveness under the family's gaze. Years later, next to my college bills, I saw an old photo. Dad and I on the playground, muddy spots clear. Dad had scribbled, "No matter how the world changes, remember to be yourself." I smiled, recalling broken dishes in the kitchen, her trembling voice. Life still had conflicts, but I had learned to face them with courage and action. "Esme, you played better than last time," Dad said over the phone. "Thanks, Dad." I closed my violin case, the night gentle. No matter the wind, my passion was no longer a bargaining chip.